So we're putting together a segment on Kamala Harris because she's fooling a lot of people, and the same people who chose Hillary Clinton chose her. So she's going to the Hamptons parties. She's in with the donors. She's not for single payers. She's not for a living wage. And I'm going to show you how she pretends to be progressive, right? So they're trying to do that thing. Let's remember Kamala Harris was the one who made the statement that we can't have a purity test on the left, which means you guys have to fucking shut up and accept my corruption. That's who Kamala Harris is, right? Just so you know, shut up and accept corruption, and you're not going to get progressive. You're not going to get any policies that actually help people. Okay. So we're going to do a longer segment on that because she's got a real sullied past about being pro prison labor, locking up kids, getting them into the criminal justice system at an even younger age. This is Kamala Harris not being on board for decriminalizing marijuana, even though she gives lip service. So there's a lot of bad things about Kamala Harris that we're going to talk about. She didn't prosecute Steve Mnuchin was the biggest one. And the reason why she didn't do that, we'll tell you, is because her donor owned the bank. Okay, just so you know. We're going to talk about all that stuff in another segment, but as I'm putting together that segment, I keep bumping into her tweets, and they're driving me crazy. So this tweet drove me a little nuts. Kamala Harris, a rising Democratic star, faces a problem. The Bernie wing of the party is skeptical of her. I love how they call it the Bernie wing. Like they're some fringe group. The Bernie wing. You mean the base? That's the base of the Democratic goddamn party. Who do you think the base of the Democratic Party is? White-collared suburbanites? Who the fuck is the base of the Democrat? Maybe that's your problem with the Democratic Party. You don't know who the fuck your base is. So then,
not only that, but they make it out like Bernie invented all these ideas.
Yes.
Everything on Bernie's platform, I supported long before Bernie amplified them.
He's an
Bernie,
FDR Democrat. That's what
that's all he is.
Bernie Sanders is an FDR Democrat. That's what the Democrats were supposed to be, but they're not anymore because in the 90s they got in bed with Wall Street, and you can't be in bed with Wall Street and represent workers. You can't do both. And so then this guy tweets this out. What a boner this guy is. The alt-left is no longer the Bernie wing. These people are uncompromising extremists with a cult of personality. Yes, being skeptical of Kamala Harris makes you an extremist. Calling anyone to the left of you a cult makes you a compromising rational centrist. Got it.
That's right.
Got it. Look how rational he is. Anybody to the left of him is an uncompromising extremist. The most popular politician in the country is an uncompromising extremist. A cult of personality. Do you realize that Hillary's fucking slogan was "I'm with her," and you're saying Bernie Sanders has a cult of personality? The only reason anyone would support Hillary Clinton is because of the cult of her personality. You're on board for fracking? More war? Bigger banks? What the fuck were you on board for? Her cult of personality. So, go ahead. Anybody want to say about this stuff?
Well, first off, why are they forcing Kamala Harris down my throat in 2017?
Right.
Why did they pick her? You should be really suspect why they decided to encourage her to be. She is in the #1 spot right now to run for president in 2020. That's who they're giving us. Why are they giving me Kamala Harris? What did she do in California that helped you, that helped me, that helped children, that helped women? I can't find it. Send me the links. Send them to me because nobody has sent me anything that is viable, that I can really research. Send me the facts, what Kamala Harris did for you.
So just to recap, being wary of the status quo makes you an uncompromising extremist. After all, we know doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is the definition of sanity. So they're doing this is doubling down on this punch left. So if they just punched the progressives in the party, the Bernie Sanders supporters, hard enough and smeared them and shamed them and called them names and said they were children and petulant and violent chair throwers and pie in the sky who doesn't know how government works, if you just did enough smearing, that somehow they'll come around and vote for you. Well, it didn't work, and it's not fucking working again. That they're doubling down on this. And then they're going to blame... So the people, they're going to blame them for Trump, again, it's your fault. Hillary Clinton, the only politician in the history of the world who wasn't expected to campaign for votes. She's just supposed to get your vote. She's the only politician in the history of the world not expected to campaign for votes. That's how you're supposed to get votes. And if you're not getting votes, you're supposed to find a way to appeal to those people. And you know how you don't appeal to them? You don't call half the country fucking deplorables. Bernie Sanders could get those people to vote for him. Hillary Clinton never will. And these are the geniuses who gave you Donald Trump, and now they're still sparing left, punching left, and pretending that they're the grown-ups in the room. No, you're the corrupted motherfuckers who just handed this goddamn country to a game show host. That's who you are. Here's another tweet that's driving me nuts. She tweeted this: Americans deserve to know what happened with Russia. No, Americans deserve to know why the fuck you didn't prosecute Steve Mnuchin, a guy who should be in jail right now, who turns out isn't. He's our frickin' Treasury Secretary because you failed to prosecute him. And you won't tell us why, even though your own investigators recommended you prosecute that bank. And they said they found 1,000 instances of criminality, criminal foreclosures on people. That's old people, young people. That's women, women of color, pregnant women, single mothers. That's who you foreclosed on, and that's who you didn't prosecute. You want to help single mothers? Prosecute the banks who are stealing their houses from them illegally. And she didn't. You know why? Because that bank was owned by her donor. That's why. That bank was owned by her donor. Here she is again. This is how she's pretending through tweets, which is driving me nuts, that she's a progressive. She's not for single payer. The Democratic Party is not for single payer. They're for the Republican health care plan. Literally, they are literally for a Republican health care plan, which is Romney Care, which is Obamacare. They literally pat themselves on the back for instituting, when they had complete control of government, the Democrats pat themselves on the back for instituting a right-wing health care plan that leaves out 30 million fucking people and has no cost controls, so everybody's premiums keep going up and up and up. And then she tweets out shit like this. What does this say? Today in 1965, Lyndon B. Johnson signed Medicare and Medicaid into law. We must strengthen and expand, not slash them. So that's her. That's as if she was a running back. That would be her head fake. That's her head fake. Look, I'm for those things. No, you're not. No, you're not for Medicare for all. You're not for single payer. You're for that bullshit right-wing health care plan that you guys are patting yourself on the back for defending. What do you?
Well, I'll tell you who I want. I want Nina Turner to be a leader in the Democratic Party, or screw the Democratic Party and a party of progressives, or Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, who had conflict with Debbie Wasserman Schultz and stepped down from the DNC because she didn't support them, and she didn't just support their awful ways of not responding to the voters.
Let me tell you this: when a Democratic politician tries to trick you like this, that's what this is. This is tricking you. And she has the guts to say she's for something that we already have and everyone loves. But she doesn't have the guts to say she's for something we don't have and everyone already loves. Why won't she say she's for single payer? Because her donors don't want her to say it. Because her donors aren't for it. And so she does this to show you, look what I'm for. Which means nothing.
Yeah, I just want to add a quick aside, too. The ultimate progressive smear, I think, is just using terminology like that previous tweet, using terminology like alt-left. Because that creates this false equivalency between the alt-left and the quote-unquote alt-right. So you're comparing people that want universal health care to neo-Nazis. You're making that bullshit equivalency. And it is, and you know what? The alt-left should apply to the Democratic establishment because they're an alternative to being left. That's an alt-left.
That's a grab to put that on a T-shirt. The Democratic establishment are the alternative to the left. They're not. That's right. They're the alt-left. You know, saying you want to fix healthcare but keep the health insurance companies alive and go, that's like saying, hey, I want to fix this house, but I want to keep the termites.
They deserve a seat at the table.
You know, saying you want to fix the healthcare problem but not use single payer to do it is like, that's like if I had a moldy peach in my hand and I said, yeah, I'm going to fix this peach instead of just getting a fucking new peach. That's what we need. We don't need to fix Obamacare. We need single payer. And that's what this is supposed to distract you from, that she's not for single payer and neither are the Democrats. So now our political system has gotten so bankrupt that the Democrats can literally fight for a right-wing healthcare corporate giveaway healthcare plan and act like it's progress. Isn't that, that's how shitty, that's how to the right the Democrats have moved, that they're now trumpeting and patting themselves on the back for defending Romney care. And that, so don't be fooled by her. We're going to do a much more extensive, if the donors think this is who we're going to get is Kamala Harris. That's who the donors want to give us. She's the female pretty Barack Obama. Just like Barack Obama put a pretty face on neoliberalism, which is corporatism, which expands the income disparity and fucks over workers. Kamala Harris is she's even more attractive than Barack Obama. She's even nicer in public than Barack Obama, if that's possible. She puts an even better looking face on horrible government policies and an emptiness inside the Democratic Party. This is her chance. This is her trying to cover over the emptiness of the Democrat platform right now, because it is empty. Hey, everybody, the next live Jimmy Dore show is August 16th. That's a Wednesday, new time, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. show, 9 p.m. show, August 16th in Burbank, California. Get your tickets right there or at jimmydorecomedy.com.